standing here at the end of the active runway at Wickenburg Municipal Airport, where we've stopped to rest. I've walked quite a few miles today, and I'm going to walk on into the main part of town of Wickenburg. And it was just so reminiscent for me to be watching the planes take off here at the airport, because I am a pilot, but general aviation pilot. And it brings back so many wonderful memories for me in flying, first of all in a Cessna 150, and then later in a Cherokee, and then on into bigger planes. But it just is a lovely experience to fly, and frankly, I do miss it.
Judy Benjamin, everybody, and Judy, America's first known survivor of Alzheimer's. Yeah, you heard that right. I mean, incredible, Judy. You are doing something really special to kind of bring awareness to the millions of sufferers from the disease. You, Judy, are walking, 3,000 miles or so?
That's right, from San Diego, California to St. Augustine, Florida.
Judy, by the way, 80 years old, Judy?
That's right. Actually, I'm going to be 81 in June, so coming up on 81.
Absolutely unbelievable. You know what? This is such good news. I know, some people have dealt with this horrific disease. We're talking about Alzheimer's, my father included. So with you being a survivor of Alzheimer's, I mean, that bodes well, and that's good news for, the disease itself, that there is a cure.
Yes, and Rick, I don't personally use the word cure because I think it's rather a reversal of the cognitive decline, and it's an ongoing process. It's like a journey rather than a destination. And that's because of what we know now are many of the causes of Alzheimer's. It's not one thing. It's many, many assaults on the body and the brain. And one by one, they have to be eliminated. And as you do that, your brain gets better and healthier. And that's really the process that I have used over the past 13 years.
And Judy, when you first were diagnosed with Alzheimer's, at that time, I'm sure was it a shock to you? Was it something that it was a hard time, digesting at that time?
Well, Rick, not really, because my mother suffered for 20 years fighting Alzheimer's until she finally succumbed at age 83. I had gone through that. That was many years ago since she passed. Also, I had 4 uncles who had, in the same side of the family, had Alzheimer's, and I recognized the symptoms. At first, when you start forgetting things, you don't immediately assume that you have Alzheimer's, but when it becomes really so extensive, like mixing up the names of your grandchildren that you see almost every day, or getting lost on familiar roads, or not remembering your own phone number, then that's when kind of panic sets in and you say, oh no, here it comes,
Yep, absolutely. And then, so you go from that, and then how in the world do you find someone or something that you try that seems to be obviously working for you now, but what was that process like?
Well, that's a great question, because I would not on my own have known anything to do, because that 13 years ago, really, it was a diagnosis of Alzheimer's was, well, that's it, get your affairs in order, go out, go on vacation, and that's about it. There are a few drugs that are available, but they're very short term, they have side effects, and they do not even propose to cure. Luckily, my old friend, many years, knew of a doctor in San Francisco, Dr. Dale Bredesen, who had come up with this theory that the multiple assaults on the brain, that the way you fix the brain is removing one by one the assaults. And she suggested I go see him. I flew out to San Francisco. We met for 2.5 hours, and Dr. Bredesen gave me a protocol to follow, including getting more sleep, exercising, eating well, getting rid of processed food and junk food and diet sodas, supplementing a little bit, and very important, testing, finding out what were my deficiencies in my body. It turned out I had a high exposure to mold. I grew up in a moldy house. I was living in a moldy house, and the mold toxins were very bad for your brain. It causes you to have foggy thinking. So I started that process under his direction. Little known to me that I was patient zero. I was the first person ever to try this. So, but I do want to stress that I'm not the only survivor of Alzheimer's. There are many, many more. And we are actually starting a foundation, Alzheimer's Survivors, so that we can bring this attention and to bring to the fore other people who've done the same thing that I've done, basically, and to give hope to people who are suffering and who get terribly depressed about this and really think that their life is over. Not only that message, but you know that in any age, if you exercise and move and keep active, not suggesting everybody should walk across the country, or I'd love to have a bunch of you come and join me.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be fun. But certainly get out of your chair, get away from the TV, and just move. That's one of the best things that you can do for your brain.
Well, Judy, you said it best. You know, it gives hope not only to the people that have Alzheimer's, but their caregivers as well, because that could be equally as devastating for family members as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it is really the worst thing for a person's health, mind, spirit, everything. It really saps you of your energy. So those people are the unsung heroes of today, are the caretakers. One of my sponsors for this walk actually is Care Scout, and they have a network all across the country where they have home care providers. So they go into the home and give hope and care and dignity to these people who are suffering. So I think that there's so many things that we can do. Just really reach out, go online, find out who's in your area that you can go to and read the books that have been published. Dr. Bredesen now has 4 books that he's done recently. The Ageless Brain, which is a marvelous book, and it has all of the details in that book, and I highly recommend it to your readers.
Yeah, we recently were talking about that book. It's fantastic. And so you're in Wickenburg. Where are you headed next?
I'm on my way to Phoenix. We actually left Wickenburg, and I'm probably about 20 to 25 miles east of Wickenburg. I'll be going back there because I take a rest day once a week, and I love Wickenburg, by the way. It's such a charming town. I hope to visit Ghost Town. I hope to buy a cowboy hat. I gotta become a cowgirl one day here.
You better believe it. Absolutely. Well, you do all that stuff. That's wonderful. Yeah, love it. Thank you, Judy. Hey, stay well, stay safe, and we'll chat with you soon.
I love that. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye, Judy.